Good evening and welcome to ABC 31 News tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Students at Avoyles High School get an up-close look at the dangers of drunk or distracted driving. ABC 31's Joanna Phillips has more in tonight's big story.
The Louisiana State Police worked with multiple first responders, law enforcement, fire, and hospital personnel today for a sudden impact mock crash at Avoyles High School. The mock crash demonstrated the dangers of impaired and distracted driving, along with the risks of not wearing a seatbelt.
This mock crash was actually part of the sudden impact program that we conduct at the hospital. So this is actually a sudden impact mock crash. This is our 4th year teaching sudden impact in the Alexandria area, and sudden impact is a partnership between Louisiana State Police and Rapides Trauma Center.
The scenes were set in a specific order, and everything used was real, from the vehicles, ambulances, and tools used when responding to a fatal crash.
As you can see behind me, we have several different agencies that are participating because these are the faces that they would see in real life. So it even brings it home even further with that. If we save one child from leaving this world too early, then we will have accomplished our goal.
Students who participated in the mock crash expressed how their assigned roles affected their thoughts towards impaired and distracted driving and the importance of wearing a seatbelt.
I just started driving like a month ago. I don't want to be in that position. I'm scared now. I'm not gonna drink. I never drink and drive. I never will.
I can't put it in words to you, but like you actually have to be in that, like spot to actually feel what's going on and whatnot.
You're responsible for more than just yourself. You got other people and the other car that you hit that you're responsible for.
42% of crashes in the state of Louisiana are caused by impaired drivers. In Moroville, Joanna Phillips, ABC 31 News.
Louisiana lawmakers are ending a sometimes contentious 9-day special session to plug a $300 million hole in the current state operating budget. Both chambers agreed to a compromise with the governor to subtract millions from the state's savings account. But the final argument became a complicated resolution that would permit some funds to be subtracted from an account dedicated to paying off loans secured by bonds. The House and Senate adjourned late this afternoon, well in advance of the midnight deadline. The regular session is set to begin in April. That massive power outage yesterday afternoon appears to have started with an equipment failure on Willow Glen, but utilities officials are still trying to figure out exactly why it happened. Power was out for much of the city, including downtown, the courthouse, and both hospitals for 1 or 2 hours. An Alexandria woman is arrested for attempted murder of a man who police say was shot in the head, but was still able to speak with emergency medical personnel. Alexandria police arrested 62-year-old Maddie Hagan early this morning after the shooting on Queen Elizabeth Court. The wife of a former Avoyles prison warden surrenders on theft and malfeasance charges. Tanya Kane also worked at the Avoyles Correctional Center as a business manager. She's indicted under theft, malfeasance, and injuring public records charges. Alexandria police say surveillance video leads them to a local man arrested for breaking into a car and stealing a purse. 38-year-old Russell Wright is charged with a break-in last week on Masonic Drive in the parking lot of a store. Alexandria police arrested a teen for allegedly speeding in a school zone yesterday morning, with that stop leading to multiple charges. 19-year-old Foster Payne of Alexandria was taken into custody on Texas Avenue. Police say they discovered he was in a stolen vehicle and had a 16-year-old passenger who should have been in school. Payne is charged with theft, resisting arrest, and contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile. And a domestic dispute results in the arrest of a Natchitoches man. Jayeka Frazier is accused of domestic abuse battery, unauthorized use of a movable, theft, and flight. Police say it happened early on February 17th on Fairgrounds Road. Well, we've had a beautiful bit of weather for our Wednesday. Hopefully that sticks around for this weekend's parades. Chief Meteorologist Chris Summers is here with your weather now.
Hey Scott, yeah, some beautiful weather out there today. Temperatures upper 60s to low 70s here in much of central Louisiana. 73 degrees the high today here in Alexandria. It looks like it's going to get even warmer as we head into the next couple of days. Could be looking at 80-degree temperatures for Thursday and for Friday, but some slightly cooler weather does move in for the weekend. I think we'll stay mainly dry here the next several days. But again, seeing some warm temperatures for the end of the work week, but the weekend does look a little bit cool across parts of the area. 73 degrees again in Alexandria, 73 also the high in Natchitoches, 74 degrees in Lake Charles, and 74 degrees the high today in Shreveport. So as we head through your Thursday, unusually warm temperatures continue for not only Thursday but into Friday too. That puts our highs into the low 80s. But as we get to the weekend, again, just slightly cooler, really more typical of this time of year, looking like highs get back into the 60s in most areas on both Saturday and Sunday. And by early next week, then we do bring the warm weather right back with us, but also bring some rain chances too by Monday and Tuesday of next week. So we'll talk more about that with your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few more minutes.
It was called Louisiana Connections. Now it's been redubbed University View Academy. It's an online charter school for grades K through 12. There are more than 2,100 students, and anyone can join this virtual school.
We send a computer to the home, we send curriculum to the home, and we work with learning coaches with our certified teachers on our end to make sure the students have a good schooling.
If you'd like to enroll a student, you can do so on their website at universityview.academy. The annual LSUA Mardi Gras parade took place today. Strolled down the streets of campus from Grady Britt Drive to Gary Tisdale Drive and ending at the Oaks. The parade featured more than 20 floats and school bands, and the public engaged in dancing and catching beads.
Great for the LSUA community. It's something that we continue to grow each and every year, and it just gets bigger and better. And it's something I think the students really look forward to, and it's unique to LSUA, so it's cool for us.
The parade concluded with a gumbo cookout, and each float received an award as part of a friendly competition. The Trump administration is putting millions of undocumented immigrants on notice with plans to implement some sweeping changes to the immigration policy. The latest from Washington. Plus, what can Brown do for drones? Details on UPS taking to the skies. Next on ABC 31 News. The latest memos released by the Trump administration outline a sweeping plan to detain and deport undocumented immigrants, but the White House insists mass deportation is not the goal. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has meetings in Mexico. ABC's Stephanie Ramos reports from Washington.
Today at the White House, President Trump talking money at his federal budget meeting.
I want the American people to know that our budget will reflect their priorities.
No details about how the administration will pay for many items on his agenda, including the border wall and the anticipated increase in border agents. But President Trump did call the current budget a mess.
The finances of our country are a mess, but we're going to clean them up.
Today, Trump also met privately with his Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, who heads to Mexico to sit down with President Peña Nieto. The administration insists that meeting is not a cleanup job after Mexico's president canceled his meeting with Trump at the White House last month.
The relationship with Mexico is phenomenal right now.
Trump's immigration crackdown has some immigrants petrified of being split up from their families. These new rules issued by the Department of Homeland Security put the majority of the country's 11 million undocumented immigrants at risk of deportation. Immigration and Border Patrol agents ordered to deport anyone convicted of any criminal offense. These new guidelines, however, do not affect dreamers, those brought to the U.S. illegally as children.
Right now, the focus is on keeping the country safe.
Trump is also expected to reverse President Obama's directive regarding schools. In the past, Trump has indicated support for Caitlyn Jenner, but says the decision to let transgender people use the bathroom of their choice is up to individual states. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
Demonstrators gather in Tyler, Texas, angry that their Republican congressman has decided to avoid town hall forums. Representative Louis Gohmert said he was worried protesters of President Trump would wreak havoc and threaten public safety. Instead, he is holding telephone town halls. Many GOP lawmakers across the country have had some raucous crowds at their forums since the president was elected. Wells Fargo fires 4 senior managers in connection to the sales practices scandal at the bank. None of those managers will get a bonus for 2016. Wells Fargo admitted its workers opened roughly 2 million bank and credit card accounts without customer permission. The bank already fired about 5,300 lower-level workers. United and American Airlines have joined Delta Airlines in selling basic economy fares. The cheap seats come with some heavy restrictions, though. Passengers aren't allowed to choose their seats, and they can only bring a small carry-on item that fits underneath a seat. UPS is now testing drone deliveries. The shipping company launched a test in Tampa, Florida, flew on its own to its destination, dropped a package, and returned to a truck. UPS says drones may prove particularly useful in rural areas. Apple stock surged to another record high, and Verizon shaves the price it's willing to pay for Yahoo. Jane King is at the NASDAQ market site with those stories and more in today's Tech Report.
Shares of Apple are at another record high after an upbeat research report from Morgan Stanley, which cited optimism over China's sales. Morgan Stanley also expects the new higher-priced iPhone to be introduced in September, and it will have display technologies used in smartwatches that allows for a curved form, and also they believe it'll have longer battery life. Well, Yahoo and Verizon have agreed to cut their deal price by $350 million. This follows Yahoo's disclosure of 2 large data breaches. Facebook is in discussions with Major League Baseball to air 1 game a week on its social network. That's according to an exclusive report from Reuters. Social networks believe their platforms are a second screen that sports fans rely on while watching games and are eager to test the popularity of combining the viewing of video and the commentary that takes place on social networks into a single feed. Well, the next iPhone could make it so you never have to worry about having enough storage. Research firm TrendForce issued a report with its predictions for Apple's next iPhone. It says the high-end iPhone could come with only 2 storage options, 64 gigabytes and 256 gigabytes. From the NASDAQ market site in Times Square, I'm Jane King with your Tech Report.
Still fairly warm for our February.
Yeah, we're enjoying some temperatures above average across parts of central Louisiana here late this afternoon. 73 degrees our high temperature here in Alexandria. Our normal high this time of year is 65. Record high 82 back in 1993. We'll see temperatures stay warm next couple of days, probably looking like low 80s. Could be record-breaking temperatures next couple of days before some cooler weather moves in for the weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up next. And good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Temperatures today pretty nice across our area, well above where we should be this time of year by about 10 degrees, at least 8 to 10 degrees above average for this time in February. Our normal highs are in the mid-60s. We made it back to the low to mid-70s in most areas. Now, lone spot below that, though, was Monroe at only 69 late this afternoon, but 74 degrees in Shreveport, 73 degrees in Natchitoches, 74 degrees down at Lake Charles, 75 degrees over in Baton Rouge, and 73 degrees the high temperature today here in Alexandria. And even right now, we have mainly clear skies out there, 69 degrees here in Alexandria. South-southeast winds about 4 miles per hour. Our humidity about 62% as our pressure is holding steady, and our dew point at 56 degrees at this hour. As we head into your Thursday, then really more of the same. A little bit warmer as we get to Thursday afternoon with lots of sunshine expected. Those winds will be south-southeast about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll start in the 50s, 52 degrees around 7 o'clock in the morning, then 73 by noon, with mostly sunny skies in our forecast. And by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, temperatures reaching 76. So a pretty nice warm day for our Thursday. What else can we expect to see as we go through the next couple of days? Well, sunny and unusually warm temperatures continue for not only Thursday, but into Friday too. I think Friday will be the warmest of the days, and that may be the day we see a new record-breaking temperature across parts of central Louisiana. Even on Thursday, though, I wouldn't be surprised to see some areas reach record-breaking temperatures, but here in central Louisiana, I think most of us will stay just below our record highs for your Thursday. As you get into the weekend, then some cooler weather does move into our area. You could see temperatures drop back at least into the 60s by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, but then another warmth by next week. We get right back into the 70s and 80s with some chances of rain returning by next week. But here's a look at our surface map. Again, just nothing but warm air and dry air as we head into our Thursday. Yeah, record challenging warmth across a good portion of not only Louisiana, but all back in Texas, Oklahoma, everywhere around us, even Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, all seeing temperatures well above where they should be for this time of year. And that will continue at least through your Friday, keeping the warm temperatures and dry weather around. But again, some cooler weather does return as we get closer to the weekend. Before tonight, 50 degrees, mainly clear skies, pretty mild for this time of year. And our calm winds will be basically overnight will be calm as you go through the overnight hours of tonight. Now, as you head into your Thursday, 79 degrees, mostly sunny skies, a very warm day once again across our area. South winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That 7-day forecast, there's that warm one on Friday, 82 degrees. That could be the record breaker around our area on Friday afternoon. Then we fall back into the 60s as we head into the weekend. A lot of sunshine expected both Saturday and Sunday. Should be dry, but again, a little bit cooler than average, or at least getting back to where we should be this time of year, into the mid-60s. But the warm weather returns next week. Could be back into the upper 70s by Tuesday, with no chance of rain around early next week. Scott?
Thank you, Chris. For many of us, it's our first stop when it comes to finding a new doctor, but how accurate are physician rating sites? Dr. Timothy Johnson examines how effective they really are.
When you need a doctor, where do you go? If your answer is the internet, you're not alone. According to a 2014 study in the Journal of the American Medical Association, 6 out of 10 Americans say online reviews are important when choosing a physician. But new research reveals that what you get out of your online search may leave much to be desired. In the new study, a team led by researchers at Bay State Medical Center in Massachusetts took a random sample of 600 doctors practicing in 3 metropolitan areas. They found that most of the online tools prospective patients can use to search for doctors don't allow them to narrow down their physician choices by characteristics such as languages spoken and types of insurance accepted. Reviews simply did not exist for more than 1 in 3 doctors. And even when reviews existed, there was rarely enough information for most people to make an educated decision on where to go for medical care. Given the growing demand for information on doctors, the future may hold a better way to search for doctors online. Until then, the best way to find a specialist may be to talk with your own family doctor for a referral. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Heavy drinking may age arteries and increase the risk of heart disease, especially in men. Doctors in Britain studied long-term drinking habits and found too much alcohol can interfere with blood flow. The American Heart Association defines moderate drinking as 1 or 2 drinks a day for men, 1 drink a day for women. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Madison say listeria may pose a greater risk of early miscarriages than people realize. The common bacteria found in unpasteurized milk, soft cheeses, and deli meats may be the culprit in some unexplained miscarriages. And doctors at Dartmouth warn eating too much seafood that is high in mercury may put you at a greater risk for ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. Researchers emphasize fish still has many health benefits and suggest people make choices low in mercury. Coming up in sports, we've got full coverage of DeMarcus Cousins' press conference today and hear from the man of the hour as one of NSU's best scorers in school history steps onto the court tonight for the first time in 2 months.
All right, mic check 1, 2. NSU senior, one of the best scorers in school history. His name is Zeke Woodley. Good evening, everyone. I'm Charlie LaPastora. He's back. NSU senior and one of the best scorers in school history. Zeke Woodley will be suiting up tonight for the first time in 2 months after a broken wrist on his shooting hand. He was averaging 17.6 points a game this season before that injury. Woodley getting back on the court tonight for an 8 p.m. tip hosting Lamar couldn't come at a more perfect time as NSU hopes to make that playoff push into the Southland Conference tourney field over these next games. So what better way to welcome him back than, of course, learning more about what his favorite cereal is.
What's blaring on your iPod or your iPhone to get you hyped up for a game?
Lil Boosie, because he talk real crazy.
Your favorite cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
What's your favorite athletics moment at NSU?
When we beat Auburn, a SEC school. It was pretty fun.
Y'all, high scoring game, you beat them by a fair number of points. What do you remember about that game specifically?
I remember like being down a lot and fighting to come back and coming off the bench and we won the game.
Who said the biggest influence on you?
My great grandma. She basically raised me. So yeah, that's important.
A blockbuster trade over the weekend has everyone talking today. Of course, it was DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie, being traded to the Pelicans to give them easily the best front court in all of hoops with Anthony Davis. Cousins had his introductory press conference in New Orleans today where he said joining Davis on the floor for the Pelicans is a great opportunity.
I think it's a great opportunity. I think we can both learn from one another. I think our games complement one another. And being together, I think it's going to make both of our jobs easier. So I'm excited for the opportunity. I think we can wreak havoc on this league. Will it happen overnight? Probably not. But you know, the potential is scary. So like I said, I'm excited for this opportunity. You know, it's been an emotional roller coaster. You know, everything happened so quickly, very unexpected. But you know, I'm a firm believer in that everything happens for a reason. You know, I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I plan on embracing my teammates, this team, this organization, this city. You know, this is home for me now, and you know, I'm extremely excited. So I'm ready to get to work.
Major League Baseball officials announced today that as part of baseball's effort to speed up the pace of the game, there will no longer be the traditional intentional walk. Instead, a signal from the dugout will be giving the batter a free walk to first. An intentional walk usually would take about a minute. The Commissioner's Office and Players Association say they will continue to look over other options concerning pace of play. A video of a softball pitcher from Illinois playing dodgeball at a team practice went viral online. 15-year-old Addison Slayback's dad posted this video of her getting her friends out with dodgeballs using that pitcher's throw. The original video has more than 1 million views, and it's also been shared on ESPN and USAToday.com.
It's been crazy. I think it's pretty exciting, and everyone's like, oh, I know a famous person, and it's pretty fun.
She's a pretty good pitcher, but we might have to rethink the career. Dodgeball might be next.
Man, she's got a wicked toss
I
out
know.
there, doesn't she?
Next time I play dodgeball, I'm going to have to try that one out.
Stay out of her way.
Yeah, seriously.
Thanks, Charlie.
No problem.
Well, look what's popped up. Next on ABC 31 News, we head to a cafe where a breakfast favorite is the main attraction. If you're a Pop-Tart fan, listen up. This week, Kellogg's has converted its breakfast bar in New York City into a Pop-Tart cafe. They're making Pop-Tarts into pizza, tacos, and even fries. For example, the personal Pop-Tarts pizza will have a crust made of brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts with a strawberry filling taking the place of the tomato sauce, and the frosting for cheese. And the pepperoni is actually dried fruit slices.
Interesting.
That sounds really, really sweet for first thing in the morning to me, but
maybe a lunchtime Pop-Tarts
maybe
snack.
for dessert.
For dessert, there you go.
Have a great night. Thanks for watching ABC 31 News.